Hello everybody, my name is Maria Fernanda Sierra Parra. I am a student from Universidad Nacional Abierta de Distancia, and today I'm going to be answering some questions for the subject teaching English to children, adolescents, and adults. So thank you so much for listening. This is the first question. Why did you decide to become a teacher? So I graduated from high school when I was 18 in 2018, and not being sure of what my life would be or what path should I follow, I tried entering the med school here in Bucaramanga, and I applied to university and even had some interviews with some doctors to check my eligibility for the med school. But for some reasons I couldn't continue with the process and I never got into the med school. That's what happened. And so I decided after this to continue with my English studies because I had been learning English for a while since I was 8 years old. So I decided to get into an English academy and finish my English process. And during this process, I fell in love with the teaching act and with the teaching activities. So I got very excited to be part of this teaching world, and I decided to initiate or get enrolled into the bachelor's teaching program degree. And that's when I decided to become a student, and that's when I got very excited about it. I decided it while I was finishing my English studies. That's my story basically. And the second question would be, think about the best teachers you have had. Why were they good teachers? How did they influence your life? So I have had many good teachers throughout my whole learning process. I met most of them while going through my elementary or primary school. And I can say that the characteristics of these teachers and what made them most remarkable for was their attention to their students. The best teachers I had, they were very attentive to their students' needs and their students' desires and what their students wanted to do with their lives. So that's something I really appreciate from my good teachers. I think that they were very kind and they were always focused on what I wanted, and they were focused on what I liked, what I didn't like, and they would talk to me and they would ask me about what I really desired by then. So I really consider that makes them great teachers. These teachers were also great from learning from their students. They were great students at the same time. So they focus on the different learning styles that their students had, the different likes and dislikes, and how their students were different within each other. All of these characteristics remain in my mind. Nowadays, I really look forward to being one of those teachers that is very kind and very lovable and very good to their students. So I think that they really made an impact on me, and they really showed me how a good teacher should be. Yeah. The next question is, what do you see as the major challenges facing teachers today? So there are plenty of challenges, but I consider that society nowadays is not given the importance that teachers and teaching need and deserve. Society is focused on other things such as this great technological improvement that we are having nowadays. So the latest trends and how to be more popular, they are getting over teachers and teaching. So we are not as important as we were many years ago. We can also notice a lot of apathy within students. It is becoming more and more common that children and teens, they do not care about what the teachers say. So we're getting to know this new generation that is not very obedient, let's say, to what teachers say. They don't really care. And I think that's a major challenge because, well, we're getting to see and very little children that they really do not want to know anything about their teachers or what the teachers say. Another challenge is that teachers are not paid well. Most of teachers around the world have to neglect themselves, and they have to accept that they will get little money for what they do. So most teachers and a lot of teachers around the world, they neglect themselves and they do things because they love to do it and because they love teaching, but they are not really well paid. So that's a major challenge. And finally, we can see that parents are not that involved in their child's or children's learning process. They are not really that involved as it was before. They are too busy, or they are just not interested in their children's career or process. So that's becoming more and more common nowadays, to my opinion. Next question would be, what would you do if you have a student that has no desire to learn in your class? So having a student who doesn't want to learn or has no desire to learn in my class is always a possibility. But I think that the important thing here is to know how to make this student important in the class and how to make them feel that they are a very important part of the class. So what I would really do is that I would ask this student, hey, what do you like? What don't you like about the class? What's your opinion about this matter? What's your opinion about the class? How do you think I would make this class better? So the best idea for us teachers, if we have somebody who doesn't like to be there or who doesn't want to be there, is try to make this person more involved in the class and try to make them feel that even when they don't want to be there, they are still a very big important part of the class. We can learn from their learning style, and we can try to look for some learning methods that can be good for this student. Remember that it's not good to push somebody into learning, because they're gonna close themselves up and they're gonna be like, nope, no, I don't want to do this at all. So let's try to be as kind as possible, and we need to have a lot of patience. Okay, and the last one is, how do you feel about homework and examinations? Are they necessary, and why? So I do consider that homework and examinations are necessary, but I strongly agree with the change of this mindset about them, since they are mainly and commonly seen as a way to determine if a student is a good student or a bad student, and I don't think that this should be like this. So exams and homework should be a way, and they should be able to give teachers and students a look into the learning process. So through examinations and through homework, we as teachers should be able to know if our students are learning, and we should be able to know if this is being, if they are improving, if we are getting to success. Because if we just see examinations and homework as good and bad students, that's not gonna be useful. Exams and homeworks should be seen as improvement tools and aids. This way, students will be less scared of exams and homework. We know that most of students don't like these two things, exams and homeworks. They do not like them. But if we use them as some help, and if we get to know them as a tool, a very important tool in our teaching programs, they're gonna be better for our students. Those are my thoughts about these topics. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.